I will now call upon, invite the EFF, Dr. Ndlozi.
Thank you, Vice Chairperson, and greetings to the Minister, the leadership of the EFF led by the Commander-in-Chief, members of Parliament. You know, Minister, there used to be a minister before you who used to come and lie here in Parliament a lot. Billions this, billions this, billions that, promised millions of jobs that never materialized. That is why he's sitting at the back there today. Even the minister before him used to lie a lot. Billions this, investment that, all of which did not materialize. We are sitting here with 41% in the expanded definition of unemployment, 45% when it comes to the youth. South Africa's economic reality is that essentially in the large part of our population, which is Black people, we are caught literally in the second industrial revolution incentives or imperatives, wherein you still need to build trains, you still need to build power stations. And therefore you need a revolutionary approach to the economy. And there is no indication in your annual performance plan that you're planning to do anything different to the failures that have led to the catastrophic problems of stagnation. In fact, Treasury admits that in the last 15 years alone, the economy has stagnated by growing at 0.5% annually. So you need a revolutionary approach, and there's nothing in the annual performance plan that indicates you're going to do anything different. What is the revolutionary objective here is to develop the productive forces. That's our revolutionary duty, to exhume Black people out of underdevelopment and a neo-colonial relationship with the white settler population. For an example, at the center of this, what you are doing is basically an incentive assembly scheme. You invite big multi-corporations to come and assemble parts here. There is no downstream impact. There is no jobs that come out of those multinationals. They just come here in the form of Mercedes-Benz and Toyota to assemble parts. Majority of those plants are mechanized, by the way. There are no people. They are digitized, most of them. And you give them serious incentives as well as tax cuts. So basically, you're sustaining multinationals to come here and operate for free. At the center of our economic policy should be import substitution. Majority of the products that we consume in the economy, where we've got an international competitive advantage, you should use your tariff capability to protect infant industries like the plastic sector so that it grows. You've got minerals here. I'm giving plastic as an example, so that it grows competitively. You protect it through the intensive structure of your tariffs so that it grows and it's able to produce in the economy and create millions of jobs. The second one is state procurement. It should be at the center of your industrial strategy. The government itself, its expenditure framework, the things that it consumes, the overalls or the clothes that the police wear, the uniforms that the police wear, the sheets in the hospitals, the uniforms that the prisons wear, the prisoners wear, the food that they consume. If you go check item by item, it's possible that they mirror the market. You are not producing all those goods and services in South Africa, particularly the products. State procurement has a capacity to lead to massive industrialization. And then the IDC used to be at the center of industrialization. If we check its cap, what has it been doing? If you can point to us now, what are the industries that the IDC has inspired? What are the industrial activities that the IDC has done? It has done nothing. It has been turned into something else. It's not at the forefront of industrialization. South Africa has de-industrialized. If you do not develop the productive capacities, meaning our capacity to be economically dependent on ourselves, but also produce to the rest of the continent. The African continent as well. By the way, if you're looking for markets, you cannot go to China. Possibly they've already been saturated, India as well as the West. The virgin market is the African continent. Over 1 billion people are there. there must be an industrial strategy that deliberately wants to go and develop the continent. You must develop Namibia, you must develop Zimbabwe, you must develop Mozambique. You cannot develop in isolation, but that is to the advantage of the creation of jobs locally, but also for the economy that grows. In the IDC, you can give us a list now. How many of the domestic entities or businesses have you supported? How many of those have benefited out of the funding, out of the different funding schemes in the whole IDTC? Very few. You will see that even those that have gotten money here, they cannot be matched to the actual development and production or the production of jobs, of actual jobs in the economy. There are no jobs. If you're not going to put at the center of industrial strategy these things that we have said, you're going to be a repetition of failures of your predecessors that have happened in the last 30 years. Don't come here and make poems of Nelson Mandela. Nelson Mandela played its part. You need an economic strategy that is convincing, that is going to create jobs and lead to economic freedom in our lifetime. If you do not have, then we're going to be at loggerheads for the rest of this term office. We can't support your budget, we can't support your APP because it is advocating business as usual. We need a revolution. We need a brave Minister of Trade and
Honorable
Industry.
Dr. Ndlozi.
By the way, you know the budget of the police was increased, but the budget that
Honorable
must
Dr.
create
Ndlozi.
jobs has been readjusted down. There is no commitment in this government for economic freedom. And if you're
Honorable
going to
Dr.
end
Ndlozi.
crime, you cannot end crime without creating sustainable jobs.
Dr. Ndlozi.
So there's no
your time has
commitment.